Reserve funding isn't about preparing for emergencies or setting aside funds for the benefit of future owners. It's simply about paying to offset ongoing deterioration. The cost of deterioration during the months you own a home in the association. Throughout our Understanding Reserve Funding webinar, the message stays the same. Plan realistically, collect consistently, and act before the delays get expensive. Because while the path forward may extend into the distant future, with the right plan in place, you'll find yourself and your association prepared and ready.
And that brings us to time to wrap up this program and go through what we feel are some concluding remarks. And that means, as you were talking about the reserve setting, you've been talking about some technical things. Now let's talk about how you're communicating. You need to be regularly communicating that owning real estate is expensive. What we're talking about is the cost of ownership here, that deterioration rate. It just is what it is for that oceanfront HOA and for that mountainside nice community next to the ski slopes. You are not setting aside charity for the future. You're not setting aside funds for emergencies. You are indeed paying that ongoing cost of deterioration. It's just part of the cost of owning home ownership. Real estate is expensive. And please call them the funding needs, reserve transfers. Don't describe them as contributions because that makes them sound like they're voluntary. And Mother Nature and Father Time, really, we can't beat them. They're going to have their way, and they make expenses that are not optional. So as you think about reserve expenses, please start to think of them more like the grains of sand falling from an hourglass a little bit every day, week, month, and year. And to have to set what's going to take, set a budget to offset the ongoing cost of deterioration, collect those funds. The costs are the costs. You need to set up a good battle plan to offset those costs. You're going to need cash. And do those projects in a timely manner before they get to a deteriorated state and become more expensive. And what's that going to look like? What we find typically is that reserve funding needs to be in the range of 15 to 40% of your total budget. About a quarter of your total budget is really no surprise to us. Brian talked about it's not surprising to see asphalt be a major component at a HOA reserve study. Well, we don't find it surprising among our clients that their reserve funding needs to be somewhere in the range of 25%, the way it is. And we encourage you to budget to pay your bill. See reserve funding as a bill that you pay on a regular basis, because in doing so, the money's there, so you don't have to pass special assessments. The money's there, so you can avoid deferred maintenance, which means that you avoid those extra costs that come in with scope creep, carpentry work that you need to do instead of just repainting when you have to fix the wood also. You get to maximize owner enjoyment and you get to maximize property values. Those are great things. Yes, they come at a cost, but that's kind of your job as a board member anyway. And you plan it. A reminder, online reserve calculator is user friendly. It allows you to get your fingers into your reserve study and see what kind of tweaks you can make without unsettling it too much. And an encouragement. It may take a few years to get to an improved future for that mountain resort. It's going to take a few years for them to build a stronger reserve fund so they won't be hit with future special assessments. But that's an attractive future. It's worth the journey, and a reserve study is going to guide you there. At Association Reserve, we are at reservestudy.com. We've been doing this now for almost 40 years. We have clients in every state and internationally. You're going to find additional resources on our website and on YouTube. They're all free. Videos, written resources, plenty of things to help you have success at your association. And we have the book. I've got a conference here on my desk that I'll be giving out to someone who asks an interesting question. That's a great resource, desktop resource that goes to a lot of what we spoke about here today. And for our board members, there's the majority of you in attendance today. We've got a weekly 30-minute podcast for you, easy to digest. It's there to encourage and equip you for the hard work you do running your association. It's called HOA Insights, Common Sense for Common Areas. You can subscribe from all major podcast platforms, or you can listen from hoainsights.org or, again, on our YouTube channel. And with that, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Paige, who will coordinate our Q&A time together.
At Association Reserves, we make the present less stressful and the future more secure. If you want to join us in this mission, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see us address in a future video. Let's plan for your best future.